passion, pierced purpose. Now I keep hearing my demeanor is disturbing. To those struck in the moment, I be lightning bolts, jolts, jilts, spoken words that shake you up. I be giving you something you can feel. I am Sakithia Johnson, the Poetic Souljah. I am a dramatic narrative spoken word artist. You can follow me on all social media sites at The Poetic Souljah. That's at thepoeticsouljah. For bookings, performances, workshops, feel free to contact me today. And if you want to email me, that's the same thing. At The Poetic Souljah, thepoeticsouljah at iCloud.com.
Hi, this is Atlanta's Blueprint to Success, and I'm your host, Coach Hartman. We have today Sakithia, the Poetic Souljah. Amazing. Poetic Souljah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Truly, this is going to be a juicy video, and we're going to go jump right on in with the fact that you are a poet connoisseur. I think I just gave you that name, right?
Yes.
You're a poet connoisseur, you're a book author, and you're also a businesswoman.
Indeed, yes.
Tell me, in the audience, why did you pick poetry, or did poetry pick you?
I can definitely say that poetry picked me. I come from a family of artists. My mother is a spoken word artist as well as a published author. My grandmother is a spoken word author.
Generational.
As well. Yes, it's generational.
Nice.
So, everyone in my family at the end of the day has been in some form of arts, but poetry has been something that we've been very passionate about. So I grew up watching my mom perform on stages at high schools and colleges, and I would be in the audience, word for word, saying everything that she would be saying.
Biggest fan.
Biggest fan. Indeed.
It's funny. You were your mom's biggest fan at one point, and now she's one of your biggest fans.
She actually has a poem that she says that in. That's funny. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. So, I took a look at your bio.
Okay.
It was a really nice, extensive bio.
Thank you.
But I want to pull some things off of there. You were on BET's Lyric Cafe.
Yes.
Tell us about that experience.
Okay, so I was on BT's Lyric Cafe as a teenager. I won't say how many years ago that was, but wasn't too long ago. But it was a great experience. I actually was a little shy when I first got there to be around such great artists that were pretty much in the poetry game for quite some time. Really? And I was in DC at the time. That's where I'm from. And the artists that I was around were all adults. So at that time, being a teenager, spoken word artist, I didn't feel as though at that time maybe that my pieces were up to par with theirs.
I follow you.
But at that time, I guess I gained enough confidence to be able to stand on that stage and to get my words out, and it was very empowering. It was freeing for me to do that, and it helped me to be able to become the businesswoman I say I am today.
Very nice, very nice. It's like you were in a room with people who knew, who had great experiences,
yes.
And you kind of came in and benefited from it. Indeed, right? I always say, especially in business, if you're the smartest person in the room, it's time for you to find a new room.
Exactly.
Okay, great. So you had a wonderful experience, being as though you came in at the BET's
Lyric Cafe.
Yes. There's a lot of people there with experience, and you was a teenager, right?
Yes, I was a teenager.
Yes. So I said it before, and I'll say it again. It's like you were able to benefit from those who knew more than you, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's how we grow. It's a little intimidating in the beginning.
It really was.
But you came out on top as a person who experienced something so great.
Yes.
Wonderful. How did you learn about the BET Lyric Cafe? Was it on television? I really never caught that.
It was on television. I believe it was on a channel similar to like how TV One is now.
Very nice.
But I don't think it was called TV One then. I'm not sure the exact channel.
Yeah.
But it was on a cable television channel. Yes, on a television network. But I got the information to do BT Lyric Cafe from, I believe at that time, my youth slam coach. I was a part of Brave New Voices youth slam team. I was actually a part of Maryland's first youth slam team.
Really?
And yes, and so what we did was we got a lot more opportunities, being as though Maryland at the time, youth poetry was not something that was pretty much known or anything that the public, I guess, at that point even knew about or wanted to buy into.
Yes.
So when we started the slam poetry team, that gave us the opportunity to not only do Brave New Voices, but to travel to California and compete as well.
Oh, unbelievable.
That allowed me the opportunity to become a coach as well after I got to college and everything.
Yeah.
And that's how I found out about BT Lyric Cafe as well. I believe I was on a team with myself, a young lady named Shaquita Nelson, and Patrick Martin, which is also now the director of poetry events in Washington, D.C. So we all have pretty much took the opportunity and maximized on it since we were teenagers.
Got it. Wow. That's, you got into that. You became affiliated with a wonderful organization, and then you began to inspire others.
Yes.
That was the story.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Greetings, everyone. This is Preech The Prophet. I am the Chief Facilitator of Black History Enterprises. Black History Enterprises is a marketing, entertainment, and media company specializing in graphic design, web design, social media, and email marketing, as well as business, coaching, and consulting services. So what we do is work with different business owners and entrepreneurs to help them more effectively convey their message to the world. Our motto is, everyone has a story to tell. Don't let yours go untold. So please do check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're also on LinkedIn. The username is Black History ENT. So again, that's Black History ENT. If you're a business owner or entrepreneur looking for great business services, please check out Black History Enterprises.
It's funny that you bring that up, is because that was one of my questions, because it was in your bio about you being in competitions. Tell me and the listeners the emotional and psychological place that you're in during competition.
My palms get sweaty just hearing you talk about it, but competition is one of those things where, as an artist, it's nerve-wracking because you're sensitive, just like, it's always said, just like Erykah Badu said, as an artist, you're going to be sensitive about your
work. I know, but she said the S word.
Yeah, she said the S word. But to have someone sit there and put a number to what you put your heart into, experiences that you may have went through and that are near and dear to your heart that really helped you escape dark places. I feel as though to have people sit there and say, 7 or 8 or 4, it's like it makes you feel as though you have to overcome and be more courageous every time. So it's a fearful experience, but I feel as though each time you take risk and you overcome that uncomfortable space of being judged, of being, just someone, not only are you have to overcome being looked at, but now someone has to literally judge you. Yeah. So I feel like once you overcome that each time, it gives you a better sense of self, in a sense, because whether they like it or not, you learn to stand in your own power and your own views and just say, I still appreciate this. And so whether you win or lose, each time you can walk away with just the beauty of knowing you were heard, one, and you can appreciate yourself more just by knowing you stood up there and let yourself be known for where you are in life.
Very nice. So there's a lot going on up there in the state.
It's a lot.
It's a lot going on. It's don't judge me, but I have confidence. Don't judge me, but I have confidence. It's a lot going on up there. I can imagine.
Because you're so vulnerable, and it's just like it's in a sense you're holding a mirror to yourself, and everyone else thinks that you may be afraid of the audience, but in that sense you're kind of afraid of yourself because you're speaking these truths that you've put out there that you may have not even wanted to share, but you get to a point where you're more comfortable doing so.
Got it. Yeah, at that moment, you're like your worst enemy.
Yeah.
Wow, because you think people know that you're not as comfortable as you should be.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
And they have no clue. But
I know, right? So, again, this is Atlanta's Blueprint to Success, and you did mention you're from Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Yeah, and your mother was a poet.
Yes.
What is one or two things that you absolutely love about Washington, D.C.? Go ahead, shout them people out. Shout that town out, that city.
I love. One thing I can say off the top of my head is DC's mumbo sauce.
Woo.
Now, in Atlanta, I know you guys love wings, but in DC, our wings cannot go without mumbo sauce. And I can't describe to you exactly what it is. You have to go to DC and taste it. It's like what your barbecue sauce is, what you think your lemon pepper wings are. Our wings with mumbo sauce you can get at the closest carryout, which is the Chinese food stores. We have a few black-owned mumbo sauce businesses that you got to check out. That's dope in DC. And then our museums. Our museums are free from 9 to 5. We have a great African American history museum they just put there. And outside of that, it's dozens of other museums. And they're all free for you to experience, to just go and look into and learn more about your history, learn more about the area that you're in, the world that you live in. So that's why I love DC. So much knowledge for free.
Yeah.
So much.
I heard that somewhere. So much knowledge for free. I don't know if that was Robinson. Nevertheless. Anyway, is that where they put the National African American History
Museum? Yeah.
Yeah, in DC?
Yeah, in DC.
Oh man, I remember when they first opened that. I can't wait to get there.
Yeah, tickets right now are crazy. I'm still
They're
trying
like
to get
booked
my
up?
hands on some. Booked up for forever.
Unbelievable. Alright, so now we know why she loved DC.
Love it. Love it.
All right. DC is still your first home?
Of course. I can't not have DC as my first home, okay?
Yes.
Born and raised, W Street, Southeast DC all day. This is Atlanta's Blueprint to Success with the Poetic Souljah. Stay tuned for part 2.
Hi, I'm Coach, and this is Success in 1 Minute. Today's major topic is learn to say yes. Why? Say yes to new opportunities. Say yes to a healthy challenge. Say yes, you are grateful to some wonderful events that happened in your life recently. Say yes to some well-needed fun. Say yes, and say yes more and more. Why? Because when you look back, you're going to say, I deserved it. I'm Coach. Learn to say yes. This is Success in 1 Minute. All the information is below his and her YouTube channel, and all the information about our social media is below, as they say.
All day.
W. All right, so, I want to move on, and I'm really interested and curious to know, because you're an author.
Yes.
Right? And tell us the name of your book,
Okay.
where the concept of the name came from, and just tell us a little bit about your book, please.
Okay. Oh, so Color Me More Royal is my poetry book. I birthed this book in 2015. It's near and dear to my heart. Now, Color Me More Royal, the title, More, has more to do with our ethnicity and me trying to find myself and my identity throughout my poetry. So when I first became a poet, it was more to me about finding myself and who I was. And in that, I realized that a lot of us seek for that same feeling of knowing who we are and our identity, and not just where we come from, but kind of what makes us great, what makes us special. And I felt as though a lot of my poems spoke to that, the fact that I was really searching for myself. And in finding that, it brought me to my history. And in my history, I realized that, what is shown to me in the media, and what I read, it really doesn't reflect the true greatness of where I come from, the true greatness of my culture and my ethnicity. So more speaks to more. I know when people see my book, they're like, well, I'm not Moorish, and I don't feel as though everyone has to identify particularly to that particular ethnicity, but as far as their greatness and their contributions to the world today that we still benefit from, I feel as though it's a great way for me to want to identify with royalty. So I named my book Color Me More Royal because the poems in this book are, in essence, a quest, a journey for self. It helps you to be able to not only want to ask more questions, but to see where I've been in my life as well, in my search for my history, and my search for, just the things that may have been told to us that were incorrect, the things that were told that were correct. You'll see that all throughout my writing, and the struggles that I feel as though we go through collectively in the world, and how we just search for equality. We search for this space where we can all just feel free to express ourselves. And that's what Color Me More Royal is. It's a poetry book that's a journey of self, a journey of greatness, a journey of who are we and how can we become better and actually walk in the power and greatness that our ancestors gave to us.
Unbelievable.
So yes.
That was concise. You love that one. That was concise. You heard it. You know, it is about that finding who you are, you know, and maturing in that in order to piece together other parts of the puzzle of your life. If that center, that self, is not intact, everything is going to be out of tact.
So true.
You know, so I appreciate that. And we're going to give you all the information where you can get that book from.
Yes.
You know, I want to move on and ask you, what are some things or people that inspire you?
Okay. First and foremost, I must say my mother, Desiree Johnson. Sonya.
What's your mother name again?
Desiree Johnson.
There you go.
Yes. Sonya Jendai is her, I would say her business name. But my mother has inspired me on so many levels. She is the natural born hustler. The first woman in my life, the first person in my life I've seen literally make something into nothing. And it's been an inspiration to just grow up under her wings and to be able to see her nurture not just me but so many other people, so many other lives, so freely, so giving. And I've been able to just harness, you know, that same spirit, and I'm grateful for that. So she's been a great inspiration to me. Outside of that, I would have to say, outside of all the beautiful women in my family, I would say also great leaders. Dick Gregory was yes.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, definitely. I had the pleasure of sitting with Dick Gregory a few times as a teenager, and just being able to sit in his presence, the knowledge that he was able to give off, it actually inspired me, I guess, to be the poetic soldier that I am today, to speak truth, to not be afraid to say what's on my heart, to say what I know is true. And I feel like Dick Gregory definitely harnessed that spirit in all of his books, from Nigga to Callous on My Soul. The books that he created definitely were books that a revolutionary would say, would write, to speak on, you know, I don't care what you want me to say, I'm going to speak on the things that will make me, I could be put in harsh situations, but I'm not afraid. And so that's why I am a soldier today for my history, for my people, for my truth. And Dick Gregory and my mother, I could say, are the two pivotal people in my life that have shaped my way of doing things.
Your lenses.
Exactly.
You
my
see
lenses.
The world.
Yes, indeed.
For your worldview.
Indeed.
Unbelievable. And I, again, we're just going to give a shout out to Dick Gregory, R.I.P. One of the things that I've always talked about when it comes to Dick Gregory is, you know, he purposefully named his daughter or daughters Miss. Because it was at a time where, you know, people didn't like to call, you know, black children or black girls, you know, by their first name or last name, and by their last name. They like to just, you know, disregard your whole person altogether. So he purposely named his daughter Miss. So you had to say Miss, whatever her name is.
Right.
So he was definitely legendary in his thinking, long time.
Indeed.
So you had the pleasure to sit with him.
I definitely did. And it's moments I will never forget. And just knowing, and his memory was just impeccable. I worked at Busboys and Poets in D.C. For a little bit of time, and I'll never forget, I was his waitress, and I just thought that he didn't remember me because I was a teenager when we sat and spoke the couple of times we did. And he walked up to me, he said, "Good to see you. Long time. How's your mother?" And I was like, and he mentioned, you know, her whether she was feeling well or not, because my mother had a few illnesses. And so just his memory, I felt just relieved and refreshed to just be, I guess, a person that he even, you know, remembered. But I felt like his spirit was just that genuine.
Got it. Yeah.
And I try to pick up on that as well. Everybody I encounter, try to give off that same energy that he kind of gave to me. In essence, to make me feel like family, even though I know that he encounters so many people throughout the day.
You're like, hey, I know you. You like, you dropping coffee now and teasing up. So thank you for that.
This is Atlanta's Blueprint to Success with the Poetic Souljah. Stay tuned for part 3.
What I mean by that is, before you go out there and you spend thousands of dollars and lots of times on the latest skincare products and all of the anti-aging creams that they have out now, remember the beauty within yourself. Get rest, drink lots of water, meditate. Meditation brings a peace to you that will help calm your spirit, and whatever you feel inside, your skin will show it. So again, don't forget the beauty that you have within yourself. This is Honeybee, and it's Beauty in 1 Minute. Please follow us at His or Her Success Story, and all the information will be in the description down below. Bye.
Thank you for that. Let me ask you this question. Finish this sentence for me. The state of poetry is what?
Expanding. Growing. Poetry is, I feel as though it's going to reach heights in the next few years that we haven't seen and probably will never see. I feel like people are starting to appreciate the art. We're starting to figure out a way to create business frameworks for poetry that people are really sitting at home creating. You know, it's poetry as a business hasn't been taken seriously for a long time.
Gotcha.
But there are poets out here, and we're taking it serious. And I feel as though we're going to infiltrate these markets, every market, sooner than later, because we're driven, we're passionate, we're ready, and we're not stopping until we're respected as artists. Because poetry is an art, and it deserves to be respected, paid for, and promoted as every other art.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's expanding.
It's expanding. And guess what? She's using this avenue, Atlanta's blueprint to success. And, and we're going to keep expanding. We're going to keep pushing. Because poetry is an art. You know, you have the intellect. I'm also a book author. Great. So, I'm also a book author. I wrote the book called From Boy to Man. And you have to sit down and write. Yeah. And it takes energy. It takes energy. It takes passion. It takes recollection of emotional states, recollection of psychological experience you've had. So when you put your energy into poetry and then people want to not pay you or pay you less for your art, it can be disheartening.
Yes, indeed.
Right?
Indeed.
I can imagine. But you say the state of poetry is growing.
Yes.
Very nice. Yes. Very nice. Okay, so today is, I'm going to give a round of applause for you. Today is Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. Come on, give it love for the brother. Right? So with that, you already expressed Dick Gregory. It's someone that helped you, that inspired you, your worldview, him and your mother. Is there anyone else from history that you would love to write a poem with or to write a poem about? Shout out to Martin Luther King.
Yeah, shout out to Martin Luther King.
Very nice.
Of course, outside of Martin Luther King, though, let's speak on that, because I feel as though he was the greatest orator. So who would not? I would feel like what poet would not want to write a poem with Martin Luther King, especially as far as his I Have a Dream speech and everything. And outside of that, I would say a poet that I would really have wanted to work with would be Maya Angelou. Definitely. I feel as though sister, what is sister's name?
Oh, Virginia?
Nasaki Change. I feel as though she wasn't Nasaki Change wasn't
Was she Asian? No, she's black.
She's black. Okay, cool. Yeah. She wasn't, I say she was a poet, but from a different viewpoint with her books, as far as For Color Girls Who Have Committed Suicide When the Rainbow Was Enough. That book was a great read as a teenager when I was growing up. That definitely inspired me artistically. So I would have definitely wanted to work with her, or work with her in essence, because I feel as though she's a great artist.
I've never heard of her.
She's a great
What's her name again?
Nasaki Change.
Yeah, I had to come across her.
Yeah.
That her literature, but her and you said Maya Angelou.
Yes.
Very nice. Definitely. How do you feel about someone like Nikki Giovanni as well?
Definitely, yes, of course.
She's strong too, right?
Of course, definitely strong. Definitely strong.
I like one of her books. She it's so, some of her stuff is so explicit I can't even repeat it. I'm just gonna let it go. But so you said Maya Angelou, and the other person name again is?
Yes, Nasaki Change.
Very good, very nice. What does success mean to you?
Success. Success to me, I feel as though, is internal. It's more
very nice.
Where you see yourself and how you feel about yourself in the inside that keeps you moving throughout your everyday. Success to me is not what I have, but more so what gets me up in the morning to continue to give back to the community.
Oh, wow.
So I feel successful in my everyday actions. I feel as though based on what my intentions are. So I would say that success to me is your intentions. If your intentions are for good, if your intentions are for the growth and the betterment of our community, I feel as though at the end of the day, that's success. Above all, success is not built in financial wealth. Success is built in your intentions and how well you are capable of providing for your community.
Very nice, very nice. Unbelievable. I don't need to comment on that, people. Just rewind this back and, do a replay on that. So we're going to be ending this off shortly. However, is there a quote, mantra, or something that keeps you driven? Like I would say, all I want, all I need is in me. And I would have people to chant that with me because I'm a life coach. Okay. All I want, all I need is within me, just to keep myself going.
Yes.
Is there something that, a quote, phrase that, you can always go back to in order to get a shot of spirit?
Yes, indeed. That quote for me, actually, I put it in 2 of my poems, actually, and it's very short, sweet, and to the point. It's I'm in competition with my accomplishments. And that statement helps me to honestly not focus on everyone around me, what they're doing, and just focus really on myself and really just beating myself each time. So it's not that it doesn't make me hard on myself, but it makes me my biggest competition. So I'm always trying to outrun the last thing that I've done so that I can be a better person and ultimately be a better asset to those around me.
Very
so
nice.
Yes, I'm in competition with my accomplishments. I tell myself that often.
Go ahead, say it again.
I'm in competition with my accomplishments.
I'm in competition with my accomplishments.
Yes.
Right, let's look at the camera, the people out there. Repeat this after us. Come on, help me out.
I'm in competition with my accomplishments.
Very nice, very nice. So what we want to do is I want to end the show off, people, with the Poetic Souljah reading us something from the book. And, you take your time and find something, select something, and read us something. Because what I always tell you all out there, the viewers, is that we're going to always give you real-time activities, what happens in business, how a poet grows from doing teenage competition work up to writing books. So we have Zakithia, the Poetic Souljah. You ready for us?
Yes, all set. So the piece that I'm going to read from my book, Color Me More Royal, is entitled Be You. Be you. You're beautiful. I see you. Do you see you? Do you know what you can do? Shine bright. Feel the light. Ayy, it's the future in sight. It's time we take the time to act like we know. There won't be a future to uphold if our youth aren't shown the love and attention, respect and understanding, the encouragement to help them stand, even when we as adults don't understand it. Support the movement. Don't just claim the children are the future. What are you doing to improve it? They can keep their pens alive, but will still be voices of the unseen until we see them as they be, human beings, with feelings, thoughts, pain, and experiences. Reality, we are all too tired from working, making ends meet to really listen. So the internet, streets, and TV, they raise our offspring. Let's open our eyes. Expression is everything. The dis-ease from what we speak versus the disease that silence brings got me screaming on the mountain peak of free. When I say silence is, you say broken. Silence is
broken.
Silence is
broken.
Chains of bondage now bonded to that which held our speech. Fear is the enemy and free is the new we. Talking up, not down. Allow the youth to express themselves. But wait, our youth are afraid that their truth leads to trouble. So they're getting in trouble running from who they are. So they rarely go far. They must know they are our future stars. After tonight, let them light up the sky. Let them know that it's cool to be you. You're beautiful. I see you. Do you see you? Do you know what you can do? Shine bright. Feel the light. Hey, it's the future in sight. Shine.
Very nice. Look at that.
Thank
Look at that. Give me some love with that. Ah. Be the light. You the future. You are bright. She can do it better. Let me just hush. Listen.
But no, I'm with it. I'm with it.
This is the Atlanta's Blueprint to Success, and I'm your host, Coach Hartman. This is Sakithia, the Poetic Souljah. Listen, all the information about where she's going to be is going to be in this video. So please stay tuned.